Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to FTB Interactions. So, since last episode, I've been getting some stuff prepped up. We had a little bit of server issues. I think it's fixed now. It was just acting up and it was crashing a bit, and I think it's fixed now. I know if it's not, and if we have some like long-term issues, Severe's just going to send me the save file, but it seems like it's better today. So, I wasn't able to log on for a couple days, and then a couple days I got kicked. So, but what we are going to work on today, I've been getting some things prepped up, as you can see. And what we are going to do, very first thing I want to do, if we pop over here to the mixer, I want to go ahead and throw in Covalence Dust, Glowstone, Sapphire Dust, and let me pop out here real quick because I need to make some mana diamonds. That should be it, I believe. There we go. It's going to start running. It's going to start making us some high covalence dust, because we are going to want that for starters. Oh, it only makes one at a time. I didn't realize. It's fine. I made plenty, but what we're going to do, now that we got our Nacra set up, which we are going to be fully automating Nacra before too long, but not just yet, because I want to do that once we get HV power, and our actual needs for Nacra right this second are not super high. Let me go ahead... actually, let me get a tank. Let me just order that. And then also, let me get... let me put our Ignis over here. And... let me make a bit of tallow. And we're going to go ahead and make ourselves some tallow candles. We're just going to make white ones for right now. And let's pop outside to our altar. And we're going to set these tallow candles up. Honestly, let's see, what's our altar at right now? I just want to boost it a little bit. We've got a 0.36 gain at the moment. Let me go ahead and buff it up with some candles. And bear in mind that this thing will not auto-update. You have to right-click it. But you can see that we now have 0.67 gain. And we'll go ahead and buff it just a little bit more here. And don't forget, you can do all different colors of candles, and each one counts as a different item. So once we get this set up more permanently, we'll do different colors of candles and get it up to some insane gain to where we never have to worry about instability on our stuff. Okay, so that's good. We've got a decent gain on that. It could be a whole lot better for sure, but we don't really need a better gain right this second, so I think that's going to be fine for us. Let's check on our covalence dust. That's doing good. That's all done. And what I'd like to do, what we're going to be making to start out is an activation crystal. You can still make it the standard way, but we don't have a tier 3 blood altar. And honestly, this method right here is just easier, so we're going to go with this. We're going to need a couple reinforced slates, and we are also going to need, was it Flawless Ruby? Yes, Flawless Ruby. We'll just grab one of those out of there. And then we're also going to need a lava crystal. Can I use a weak blood orb for this, or do I have to use... I've got a better one. No, but weak will work. Okay. Got a better one, but it's over there, and I don't feel like grabbing it. So we're going to put that one into there. And while that's running, while that's making our stuff for us, let me grab... This portable tank just filled up with Nacra. Will be good for us. And let's pop over to the mixer. We're going to go ahead and dump that in. You can hear that right now it's running and making more for us. It's going to fill this back up, of course. And hopefully no issues. We got it all pretty much primed last episode to just be spot on, to pretty much just run constant. So, you know, as long as it's needed. So, alright, let me grab... I got it making some gold nuggets. Let me grab a little bit of stone. There's our gold nuggets. You can see we've got plenty of gold. We have 6,407. Our auto gold system right now, it's kind of slow for sure, but it's been running perfectly, so I have no complaints. We'll speed it up a bit more later on, but for right now, that is a-okay by me. And then our buckets, there we go. We're going to go ahead and get some lava into these. Don't forget, you can use gloves. I'm not that worried about it, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so we should be able to order the remaining things that we need for this. And let me go ahead and grab our Nacra from here. I am going to need some more stone and stuff. I'll get that here in a moment. This should be ready to go. There is our lava crystal. And we are pretty much all set, I think. We're going to be dealing with mobs here soon. They're more of an annoyance than anything. They don't really hurt us at all at this point. And really, in a way, they kind of have their benefits because they give us some free XP. Alright. Quite done. Oh, let me switch out that. I don't want that. Alright, so we're going to put our lava crystal in. We are going to put our high covalence dust. We're going to be using 2 of that. There we go. Are you guys quite done? We're going to be using a couple reinforced slates. And we are going to be using a flawless ruby. As well as these water jars, we have Tenebrae. And we'll just put these over here. We're going to have Alienus, we are going to have Victus, and we are going to have Potentia. There we go. And we will just right click that. That's going to start running. Of course, if we throw in our goggles of revealing, we can have a better look. You can see right now it's very stable. 0 to 0.8 loss per cycle. You were here and now you're not. I don't know. And you're like broken. Goodbye. Oh, it's already finished. Okay. Well, there we go. See, it's pretty quick. Pretty quick. You don't need a whole lot of stability items for like early infusion. So there's our weak activation crystal. Alright, so we got this. We're going to go ahead and bind it. Just a right click to bind it. And that's out of the way now. Now the other thing that we need, if you take a look at the quest for blood magic, if you want to get into rituals, you do get 32 free ritual stones just by making your very first master ritual stone. So that's what we're going to be going with. I don't know for sure if I'm going to need more. If I do, it's not an issue. Those are just 4 reinforced slates. We're going to need a blood orb. Apprentice one I think will be the lowest that we can use, but we do have that one. So that's not an issue. I'm going to go ahead and grab 4 slates from here. And we'll just upgrade these. And I need to go get my Spectre coil back off the pump. We will do that here soon. Alright, so there's that. Yeah, I should probably go do that. But, or just plug a CEU up to that, one or the other. But let's go ahead, let's get our ritual stones. There's those. And then for our master ritual stone, just 4 more obsidian. Used quite a bit of EMC this episode. Probably set up some kind of a system for creating obsidian. Oh no, do we actually have to have the better blood orb? I think we do. Yeah, I think we're going to have to get up to a magician blood orb. It's fine. Not a big deal. Do I want to go ahead and just move this? Because I think I do. I don't think I want it to stay here if we're going to be upgrading it beyond just a tier 2. Yeah, so let's just pull all this up. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's go ahead and start extracting this. We're going to be extracting from the blood altar itself into just a portable tank here. And just to make this a little bit easier, and we'll just go ahead and speed all of this up. Because we're going to be making some slates, and that way we can finish out our blood altar. I didn't even realize we had to have a tier 3 blood altar, otherwise we would have just made our activation crystal through this, but that's fine. Not a big deal. Alright, so we've got that, and then what we're going to need to do is to make blank slates, just the blank versions in this pack, we're going to need Nocturnal Powder, Arcane Stone, Life Essence. Really, I'm going to need more Life Essence than this. We're going to be setting that up for automation before too long, because we're going to have to get blood going before too long. But we're going to push into, before we do that, we're going to push into a bit more of deep mob learning, because it would just make our lives a bit easier, truth be told. though we do have 4 efficiency runes. I'm going to go ahead and grab those. Those will help. We still need 16 more blank runes, though. We can get displacement runes if we make an alchemy table, which we're going to need one of these anyway, so we might as well. And that'll give us 4 more runes. And with the slates that I have in here, yeah, that'll work. Alright, so do I have any nocturnal powder? I have 3, but I'm going to need a bit more. The Arcane Stone's easy, but, alright, so let me see. How much illumination powder do I have? I have 9. That'll be fine. I am going to want to go kill some squid, though. So let me just head out. Alright, so we'll go ahead and get our nocturnal powder crafting. Actually, I'm not even going to really be able to craft it during the day, unfortunately. But it's almost night, so that's fine. Let me go ahead and get the rest of the stuff together real quick that we're going to need. So, Arcane Stone, I'm going to go ahead and use... I've got a lot of Ordo. We'll just use that. There we go. There's 44 Arcane Stone. That's going to be more than enough. Do I have any Nocturnal Powder at all? I have 3. Let me go ahead and grab that. My mixer does still have this stuff in it. Let me go ahead and let that run out the rest of that Nacra. So we've got plenty of Nacra blocks, like, until we get it automated. And our alchemy table, and I should be able to craft the Nocturnal Powder now. And give me the alchemy table. Okay, so that's going to complete a quest, and we are going to get a gas tier, and we're going to get 4 displacement runes. That's fine. I'm not too worried about what the runes do right this second. Though, if I recall, sacrifice runes require demonic wheel, right? Before we can, yeah, we're going to have to get demonic wheel. That's fine. Speed runes, we could craft these. I'm not really worried about it, though. At the moment, we will push for those probably before we push our altar any further. But I don't really need it right this second, in all honesty. I'm going to hold on to that, though. I'm going to set that up downstairs. Alright, so there's our Nacra. Let's go ahead and throw in that, and that. Get that running and making our blank slates for us. Actually, I think I am going to need... I'm going to need 1 more slate. Because when I added those 2, I only counted for... I guess I counted 1 slate per rune, and that's not quite what I'm going to need, but that's fine. I'll just pop down there, pump up a little bit more blood. I want to get the elevator put to down here before too long, because we're not going to be doing floors each layer. I don't think we're going to be doing floors down to this. We're going to have 1 elevator that just plugs into this, basically. Is kind of what I have in mind. So I've got a full portable tank. I have another one filling up because we will eventually want that. And really, I should go ahead and just throw in the rest of that Arcane Stone. Make as much... probably make as many slates as we can make. And there we go. There's our 12 blank runes. And then all I need is... I'm going to need glowstone, 4 blocks. I'm going to need some kind of a block to put this on. We're going to go with just bricks. I've got a bunch of these. I think it's 2 high. But I'm going to go ahead and bring 12 just in case it's 3 high. I was thinking it was 2 high though. And then I'm also going to want Ardites. I'm going to need 9 of this. And we'll go ahead and dump this Ardite into the compressor. Get that running. And go ahead and speed this up just a little bit. There we go. And now I believe we are in business. And I'm going to leave that conduit there just for right now. Since we will be siphoning this a little bit. Let's go ahead and get that going. Fill that back up. And then for the altar, I believe we just come out 1 and put it right around. Let me double check. And don't forget, there is the Inspectora Scandalum that you can make. And you can easily plan out your altar with that. But okay, now we need to come out 1 block. And we're going to put our bricks here. It's not going to stay bricks, I promise. But it can be any kind of block. So for right now, bricks are going to be fine for us. Put in our glowstone right there. This is where the altar is going to stay, but the blocks themselves will change. The runes will change, and so on. And we're going to go ahead and just put in our efficiency runes and our displacement runes. Displacement runes will be useful, though, just for making it pump that liquid out faster. You know, in that regard, they are going to be quite useful for us. And then we're going to put in our blank runes, which will get upgraded later on. But since sacrifice runes are a little bit farther in... Oh, that's right. It's netherite blocks, not glowstone in this pack. Whoops. That is not a big deal. Honestly, I think we have the netherite for this. So it's really just as easy as glowstone. Netherite's super common, so it's not a big deal. The netherite doesn't really work. Well, it would work with a scanner if we used exact block, or if we used probably maybe one of the lower tier ore ones, because we have it on like the precious minerals, and I believe maybe one of the lower tier ones would work, but it's not a big deal. It's super common, so really just mining around down here, we'll find it pretty easy. This is where we found a bunch before, but I mined all of that. So I'm just going to start mining at, this is Y level 8. Yeah, there's some netherite already. And if you noticed, I've been scrolling a lot in some of my more recent videos. That's because my thumb is a bit damaged. It's almost healed up, but basically normally I use, you know, I have kind of a, it's not a naga, but it's kind of similar to a naga. This one I actually like a bit more than the naga, and it's a UTech Smart Venus, and I actually quite love this mouse. And it's proven, I was buying, you know, in the past I was buying a lot of nagas, but they tended to go out on me pretty quick, and I tried out this and actually got it on sale, I don't know, like a year or so ago. But this thing has been even better than the naga. But if you notice, I've been scrolling. That's because my thumb, funny story, my thumb on my right hand here, it's a little bit gross, but so I haven't posted any pictures of it, but the skin on this thumb is, the tip of it's all ripped off, kind of. I mean, it's still there, but it's like halfway ripped off right now. But it's almost healed up. So, but what happened was my dogs decided to get into a fight, right? And it was just my two pugs. Like, you know, it wasn't my bigger dogs, it was my pugs. I decided to get into a fight, and they do bicker a lot from time to time, but this time they got into a bit of a fight, and I made the mistake of trying to break it up. Normally if it happens, you know, I just put a blanket on them and it'll stop them. But I didn't have a blanket handy, and I always get worried whenever they fight, and so I tried to pull them apart. And the problem is they fight over me. Like, they're fighting over, like, my attention, I think. But I made the mistake of putting my hand down there, and Diana got my finger in the fight and ripped my thumb apart. So it's a little bit damaged. So that's why I've been scrolling around. I don't need the ancient debris. I actually need the netherite. These right here. Yeah, 2 or 3 blood altar caps. That's fine. That's not a big deal. And now we have gold, so really the demon ingot's not a big deal. Let me just pull this off. We've got plenty of scraps, so I'm not that worried about that. Starlight Infusion does make 4 at a time. Since I don't have Starlight Infusion automated, though, I think I'm just going to smelt this for the time being. Can I smelt it in this? Yes, I can. Okay, great. But if you want to make it more efficient, Starlight Infusion, that's how we did it last time. But at this point, since it only takes 1, I'm just kind of like, well, whatever, because this stuff is super common. Let's go ahead and get... Wow, I didn't lose any. Maybe just doing a stack every time would be more beneficial than doing them 1 by 1. Last time I did them 1 by 1 and I lost a ton of them. So, yeah, I may have to start doing that. Okay, so we're going to let that run real quick, get our caps, and then we can get back rolling with our blood magic. And the ritual we're going to be setting up today is going to be very, very temporary. We're going to get rid of this pretty quick. But we need it for a small progression push. Alright, so we'll get that running. There we go. There is our Magician Blood Orb. Okay, so now what we can do, we can take our crafting station. I'm going to go ahead and set up our alchemy table. Now we can take this, we can take our obsidian and our ritual stones and get our master ritual stone. Mana diamond, ancient debris, living wood. Okay, we never made living wood before. That's just vibrant infused wood. So infused wood and more liquid starlight. Okay. 1 second. I think we do need that for the ritual diviner maybe. So that's probably why it's there. It's going to get to that in a minute, but this is fine. We'll get a few quests completed all at once. That'll be alright. And then we will get our vibrant infused wood. And let me just speed this up a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and order 8 of that. That's going to complete a quest. There we go. And then we'll turn in all of our quests at the end. And we're going to go ahead and turn this into some living wood. Particles! There we go. Quest complete, living wood. And then now we can make the ritual diviner, which we're going to get a ritual dismantler and an altar diviner. And it's only about midday at the moment, so yeah, I may have to wait on this, but that's fine. There's another thing I can get together, so... Oh no, I can make it right now. Perfect. I like the fact that a lot of the starlight costs for the non-astral sorcery stuff are pretty low. So we're not waiting on it to make kind of mundane things, right? That we want for other stuff. Okay, quest complete, task complete, quest complete. But we are going to get what I actually wanted, the 32 ritual stones. We're going to go ahead and grab that. Let's just tab through here, and I am looking for... Technically we can do it without this, but unless this requires... Oh, this may require the better... Yeah, you know what? I actually need the better ritual diviner. So, okay, so in that case, let's go ahead... Let's pop on down. Okay, so there's our very first imbued slate. So we're going to get 4 more imbued slates, and now, to get the Dusk ritual diviner, yeah, this isn't too bad. I'm going to go ahead and knock this out. Alright, let's go ahead and get ourselves some Salus Mundus real quick. Then I'm probably going to go ahead and make all this into illumination powder, I think. Okay, so that's going to get us 20 crafts of nocturnal powder. So we should be good on nocturnal powder for a little while, I think. Alright, so we got that. We're going to need flawless coal, infinity dust. Flawless coal, do I have it? I do not, because I haven't really ran coal ore. But I do think I have some coal ore. If not, I can go get some. I do have coal. Okay, let me just set this up real quick. There's a flawless coal. And that's all we need, just one of those. Okay, so we got that. I'll finish setting that up here in just a second, but I want to get this set up. And I want to let that run for a minute, so I just got everything that I'm going to need and be able to sort it from there. Alright, so then we just need the mana pearls, which are going to need to be made in an assembler. That assembler needs to have mana, and needs to have Eye of Ender. Eye of Ender needs to get made in an assembler with just blaze powder and ender pearls. So that is not too bad, actually. Oh, a blaze rod with 6 would get us 6 Eyes of Ender. Might be how I do it. Yeah, I've got enough. I used a few of these to make my alieness between episodes. I made a bit extra alieness, but that's because I always like making a little bit extra. So that we've just got it. Toss that in, get that running. I'm going to go ahead and turn all 6 into... Oh, that's empty. Turn all 6 into mana pearls for right now. because I think that's going to be more useful to us than Eyes of Ender. Oh, I'm sorry, it's unstable mana. This is where I'm going to need... I was thinking I was going to need a simple power catalyst any moment now. That's where I'm going to need it. So we're going to need 10,000 mana with 1,000 millibuckets of ethanol. Simple power catalyst is just 5,000 life essence, netherwort. We can also make it through here. Looks like it cuts out the gun... Oh, but that takes HP. Okay, so gunpowder, netherwort, redstone for this. So that. And we're going to put in our blood orb. Okay, so quest completed for our simple power catalyst. It's turned into a little bit of a rabbit hole. Just a little bit. And then we're going to need 20,000. I'm going to make 2 crafts of this. We're going to have 10,000 unstable mana, which will be good for us for a little bit. The ethanol... Alright, so what we're going to do, just to make this a bit easier, we're going to go ahead and turn off fluid auto output on this for a minute. And let that sludge build up in our fluid extractor, because we're going to use that to kick us off for making ethanol. It's actually a fairly simple process. We'll be automating this before too long. But for right now, we're going to just quickly make a little bit of this. And we don't have a fermenter set up or a brewing machine. So yeah, we're just going to go with the sludge method for this. So we're going to let this build up for just a little bit. We're going to get it up to like 20 buckets, because I'm going to run 20 buckets of this all at once, because that's what fits into a portable tank, and that's usually what I use to run around and do things. So I'm going to let that build up for just a minute. I'll be back once that's built up for us. Try not to make just a whole bunch of MV machines, because we're not going to be using them much longer. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Is that the one I want to steal? Yeah, this is the one that does the wood gas to ethylene. I know it's sinful to, like, break it, but we're going to break it. We'll set it in right there. We're going to have a circuit. This is going to be set to... Nope. We're going to go ahead and dump our sludge into there. Program circuit 0. And we're going to start making charcoal byproducts. And I think as long as our weak activation crystal works, we won't have to push for the awakened activation crystal. If we need to push for this, it's not that bad. Okay, so that's done. We're going to go ahead and pull that out. And we're going to set our program circuit to 1 now. Toss that back in and toss in our charcoal byproducts. Those are going to start running, and those are going to create wood vinegar. So at this point, we're only going to get 10,000 wood vinegar for basically 20,000 sludge, 20,000 charcoal byproducts. That's fine. Okay, so there's our wood vinegar. And then to actually make the ethanol, we're going to need program circuit 2 for this. Like I said, we'll be automating this soon, but we're going to automate with the distillation tower instead of the distilleries, of course. So for every bucket of wood vinegar, we are going to produce 10 ethanol. Ugh. If we went with the fermented biomass, we would get 150, or regular biomass, we get 600. Honestly, I'm really thinking of just whipping up a brewing machine. I may even have one. Okay, so to make the ethanol, we are going to need honey. Well, it's going to be the biomass, just the cyclic biomass. Plant balls we've got, or any of these will work. Probably go with plant balls because they're going to produce, I think, the most bang for our buck. Though, I don't know, potatoes and stuff are pretty good too. It's just going to take more runs and stuff. But I'm probably just going to go with plant balls. And then to get the actual honey that we're going to need, how do we make the liquid honey? Fluid extractor with Pam's Harvestcraft honey, or crushing tub with honeycombs. Let's go ahead and get our brewery. And then, oh, quest completed. And let me go ahead and get a crushing tub. Okay, so there's our crushing tub. We're going to go ahead and snag that. And what we're going to do is, let's pop down, let's get ourselves some of these honeycombs. And we're going to go ahead and make this a little bit easy on us. I don't want to jump on it. So what we're going to do instead is pull up our armor stand. Let's pull up our squeezer also. And put in our crushing tub. There we go. And we'll just put in our honeycomb. And that way it can start crushing that for us. And we'll go ahead and grab that. Okay, so now let's go set up our brewery. I'm just going to pull up our advanced distillery. We'll put the brewery in right here. That with the plant balls. Get that running and get it making us some of that cyclic biomass. So there's a total of 16,000 millibuckets. I may make some more of this up though, because having some extra ethanol lying around, it's not going to hurt anything. But it's going to start producing that biomass. And let's see, for the ethanol, we're going to need 1,000 to 600 ethanol. And then to make the actual unstable mana, we're going to need 10,000 mana. We got that. The ethanol, we're going to need 2,000. That's not a problem. And then we're going to need 40 redstone. So that. We'll get that running our first batch of unstable mana. Okay, so there's our first bits of unstable mana. Let's go ahead and grab that. We're going to put that right into there, and it's going to start crafting. All right. That's a little bit of a process, but not too bad, especially once we switch to the biomass as opposed to the wasted a bit of time with that wood vinegar. So I didn't even look at the amounts. I'm really bad about that. There we go. There is our Dusk Ritual Diviner. Okay, so we're going to get a task complete. The other thing is getting that Tartaric gem. We may do that, but we may not need it either. So what we're going to do, we're going to tab through this, and we are going to find, I'm going to find the Ritual of Culling. But with this one, we can start getting into souls and stuff like that, or wheel crystals, I mean. So we need 4 fire runes, 32 dusk runes. Okay, so I am going to need to make 4 more ritual stones, but of course at this point that is not an issue for us. So what we're going to do, let's bring this out just a little bit. I haven't decided yet if I want to do an auto placer for this or not, but we're going to put our master ritual stone, I think, right there. It does go up, but I think it only goes up 1 block, so I think that's going to be good for us. Let's go ahead and pull this up. We're going to go ahead and place out our first 32 blocks, and then I need to make 4 more ritual stones to get this set up. This is going to be a very temporary ritual for us, and we'll go ahead and get these last 4 placed out. Now, I'm not for sure in this pack if you can do the just like igniting bedrock. I'm not sure if that is disabled or not. It may be, but it may not be. But I need a fair amount of this, and honestly, Ritual of Culling would be perfectly fine for us. So we're going to go with that. Let me grab our Divination Sigil. Where are we at? I think that's going to be enough to activate this. So let's give it a shot. Boom, rush of energy flows through. Okay, and I went ahead and built out a little dark space. I think it has to be dark, but I can't recall for sure. And we're going to pop on down. We're going to grab our blood altar, because for the Ritual of Culling to work, it is going to require a blood altar. So just a heads up. Let me just grab that. We'll go set this up. It has to be kind of near it. I don't remember how far, but just kind of near the Ritual of Culling. Okay, yeah, you can see we now have a full blood altar. So let me just put that back in for right now. And you can see there's lots of items on the ground. I'll probably get a vacuum collector set up, but basically what we need to do is use infinity dust on here, and we're going to make smoke clouds. Okay, there we go. I saw an Enderman. We should get... oh, it's way over there. Yeah, don't stand in this stuff if you can avoid it. Right here is a grain of infinity. And you can see a few more over here, there, and there. They take a little while to run, as you can tell, but what we need is a bunch of grains of infinity at the moment. We need grains of infinity to make infinity dust blocks, to make compressed infinity dust blocks to make double compressed infinity blocks. Uh-oh. These mobs can spawn TNT, but it should be automatically eating their TNT. But basically, every time the Grains of Infinity spawn a mob, not necessarily an Enderman, but just a mob in general, that mob, whenever it dies, is going to drop Grains of Infinity. Now, we can use the Grains of Infinity to make, let's see, we can use it in a light well to make liquid nightmares, which can then be turned into, with nuggets, we can make infinity dust at a really, really good rate, as you can see. So, next episode, I know it's about wrapping up point for this episode, but next episode we may go ahead and just automate this, because I don't think I'm going to want to do this, indefinitely. So we'll set this up with kind of a vacuum system and make it a little bit more automatic for us. But you can see it's making a fair few grains at the moment. Like I said, the normal system where you ignite bedrock, I mean, this is normal too, but this always works. But the normal bedrock system probably works just fine in this pack, if I had to guess, but we don't ever do the infinity dust method, and we're going to be using the infinity dust method just for a very brief period of time. We're not going to use it for very long, but as something a little bit different. So next episode we'll set this up for full automation, and then what I'll probably do is cut for a little while it runs, and then we'll come back and finish out what I want to be working on. So anyways, with that, I am going to end out this episode here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay updated with when new videos come out. And we'll pick back up next episode. I just know it's about wrapping up point, and I'd like to keep the video from being an hour long, if at all possible. So anyways, I hope to see you guys next time. Until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.